If I can go into Maine and buy a house for cheap that's rural, is very isolated.
Ray Donovan is the former chief of operations for the DEA.
That would allow them to continue to grow the marijuana crops uninhibited.
Law enforcement now cracking down.
Come out with your hands up!
With at least 34 busts statewide since last June.
Strange Maine presents episode 10, Triad Takeover.
Maine, it'll make a bitch do strange things.
So what do you think about the local Triad mafia corruption going on?
The Chinese, I've worked with them before. They're very demanding. They will push you. They will kind of grab you by the throat. In China, the average work week is like 55, 60 hours a week. Most of the Chinese restaurants in the United States are Cantonese, which means that they come from Hong Kong, where there's like free trade and a better economy. But there are some Chinese people, including Chinese restaurant workers, who do come from the mainland China. The Chinese, what are they after? They're after money in the United States. They'll sell drugs. They'll stay to the family. They're very big into electronics. Yeah, they want money. They'll stay with the fam. They're stuck in their kind of Asian ways.
Hard workers, yeah. It's taking us over, I think.
Yeah, China has 1.3 billion people, whereas in comparison to the United States is like 350 million. So China has almost 4 times as many people than we do. Some wise old man, he told me something smart. You ever hear of an Asian getting into trouble? He said, no, it's because they're too busy working. The Chinese, I don't know too much. I know that they have like massage parlor, prostitute things, but I really don't know too much about them.
Don't know about their criminal side, the Triads, mafia.
There's a lot of drug sales internationally. They say there are more $100 bills than there are $1 bills, and there are more $100 bills overseas than in the U.S. And that's mostly because of drug sales internationally.
Yeah, the deep web now made it easier for them.
But the whole world, it has gotten a lot more wealthy. And I looked at a book called The Silk Roads about the wealth of Asia in the future. It's going to get a lot more wealth. In 2000, there were like 5 countries as rich as the United States, or as rich. Now there's like 60, or their PPP, which is their per purchasing parity, which means how much things cost adjust to how much they make, is like 20 or 30,000, which is more than what people make on Social Security. Asia is getting a lot more wealthy. The wealth is hitting that area.
Beast from the east.
Yeah. We kind of grew up with American exceptionalism. You know, America is like the greatest country. But the dynamics of the world has changed. Indeed, the U.S. made its own report saying by 2050 we'll be first among equals with China and India. They're going to get a lot more wealthy in the future.
Yeah, it's scary. What about the crime here in Portland? Drugs, prostitution. It's your first-hand experience. Spent a lot of years out here on the curbs.
A lot of the drugs trafficking is done by homeless people, and they make good money doing it. My own good friend Maggie Irwin, she died of a crack overdose last October. I had her over in my apartment for a couple nights.
She wasn't a prostitute, right?
No, she wasn't.
Just a good girl addicted to drugs.
I don't know too much about drugs because I don't do them or buy them, but some of the people I've had over do drugs. Meth is very common here. The most commonly asked for drug that I'm asked if I have is subs, which means Suboxone, which is a heroin reliever. Like if you're addicted to heroin, it relieves it. Prostitution. There used to be prostitutes who would hang outside of the Y, but that was many years ago.
People ask you to find drugs often.
No, not really.
Anything on the triads? Triad weed.
The Maine Wire covered most of what was going on with the triads. They say a lot of illegal marijuana grow operations are taking place up in rural Maine, upstate, up north. I guess they say Chinese gangs or organized crime syndicates have purchased rural houses up in rural Maine, up in town, state, houses upstate in towns where there's small towns, lots of woods, low population, so they probably figure it's quieter and safer and easier to grow there. So, they buy the houses, turn them into grow houses. The cops have busted, dozens of these. So, who knows what's gonna do? Who knows what it's gonna do? I don't know. They somehow picked Maine as a hub for them to, base their illegal grow operations in. I never really knew about it. I had a feeling about it. I thought about triads, multiple years ago, around 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, when I first heard about, saying that COVID started in China, whatever. So I started thinking about triads, but I never knew they were actually here. I thought about them and thought they might have been here, but I never really saw it before I even saw anything about the Maine Wire, before I saw anything on the internet or any news articles. But anyway, they did end up being here. A report that I read, an article on on the Maine website, Maine Wire website. It said something about the DHS Department, Homeland Security. Actually, it might have been released a report saying that the Chinese organized crime or triads have been setting up shop and activities been happening, criminal activities been happening in Maine. It's really strange to me because I've lived in Maine my whole life. China's really far away. It's the other side of the Pacific. It's like so far away. I don't understand how that could happen. Most of them are, transnational crime is like, overseas type shit. So, if they're saying, if people come here from another state and they're Americans, that doesn't necessarily count to me as transnational crime because it's not from overseas. It's on the homeland.
About the local crime in Portland.
Local crime, there's a lot of just stupid crimes. Violent crime is on the rise. I saw an article about some woman that was walking through Portland and got attacked kind of near, she was walking back from a Bayside bowling alley or something, and then someone attacked her. It's tragic. Most of the violent crime in Maine stems from mental illness. They're just people going crazy. They get angry and frustrated and, hit someone or something. Not many robberies happen in Maine. They do happen, but it's not very common. You're more likely to get assaulted than just like a robbery, I feel like. People aren't running up on people and mugging people. They might just hit you, but they're not usually stealing shit from you, stealing things from people. I've seen fights before. I've seen people get hit. I've been attacked by a stranger before. So, and when that happened to me, I didn't think there was anything behind it. I didn't think it was any type of coordinated attack. I just thought it was a random ass attack from some random stranger. You know what I mean? Could it have been? I don't know. If it was, I never knew about it. But most of them seem to be random, because the perpetrator and victims are usually strangers in that type of scenario. So I mean, what reason would a random stranger have to attack another random stranger that they don't know before? You don't even know the person's name. I don't know. So it is what it is. Violence is not good. I do not condone violence. If you need to protect yourself, whatever. But nobody should go seeking out violence, because it's not good. There's no benefit to it. Nothing good comes of it. The pen is mightier than the sword. Legendary statement. Still holds true this day. And that's all I have to say.
What are your thoughts on Gucci Mane?
Gucci Mane.
You heard?
Gucci Mane ended up shooting Young Jeezy's homie or something like that, like before he got famous, or it might have been the other way around. No, I think it was like that. Yeah, I think that was it, and that's what sparked their beef. Gucci Mane might be a better rapper than Young Jeezy. I don't know. Actually, no, scratch that. I don't know. Maybe Jeezy's better. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a tough one. It's close.
Have you heard of Gucci Mane? He's a rapper. Think you have internet over here?
I have internet over here, yes.
You want to pull out your phone and listen to a Gucci Mane song? We can get a Curbside Cody reaction to some Gucci Mane music.
My battery's low.
One song on YouTube.
Yeah.
Gucci Mane, M-A-N-E, My Kitchen. The reaction video. I wrote a college paper about this song 14 years ago.
Gucci Mane, what?
My Kitchen.
Christina says, old lady. You used to have to hang down a tires a lot.
Save big on holiday deals. Up to 25% off Nike clothing and up to 25% off Nike shoes. See it on
Gucci Man, my kitchen. Turn the volume up all the way.
It is.
Also, I'd like you on some homicide statistics. Men commit the most homicides at 24. The murder rate peaked in 1980, and the number one cause of homicide in the United States is arguments between two unrelated men.
Song about him cooking crack, selling crack in his kitchen.
Here's a fact you probably didn't know. In East Asian countries, smiling, people who smile, they've done surveys, are seen as less smart. So in like China, Russia, Mongolia, the Koreas, Japan, people who smile are seen as less smart. And back to our homicide statistics, 60% of Americans have admitted to having a homicidal thought or a homicidal fantasy.
Gucci Man, my kitchen. What'd you think?
It was okay.
Yeah.
She's like traditional classical.
Trap.
Yeah. And it's got the 24 symbols of the Elder Futhark runes around it, and inside the circle around it. It's north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. That's what each of the things is.
You gotta find gauge, do we?
It's really just a compass, you know what I mean?